First game of the ALCS goes to the New York Yankees. 5-2. They take it over the Cleveland Guardians. It's Braun. It's AJ. It's Kratz. What's going on? Let's talk about this game. FT Live post-game. It is powered by MLB Perfect Inning 24. More on the game later, but let's get to the ALCS game right here. Yes. So the Yankees.
Wait, are we only talking this game or are we talking both games?
We can talk both, but let's do Yankees for like 10 minutes or something, and then we can get to the other game.
Okay.
Why? Because the other game had some interesting points.
They both had a lot of interesting moments, but yes.
Well, what was the most interesting moment for you in game one of the ALCS? Because for me, I felt like the Guardians decided early on that they were going for the win in game two, not in game one. You don't think so? They put in Joey Cantillo.
Disagree.
Got a little nervous in the big moment at Yankee Stadium. You could make a case that's the game. Can I use one of my 4 or 5 best weapons? It's not like it's 1 or 2 guys in that bullpen. I mean, he used one of his lower leverage relievers in that spot.
Okay, so it was the third inning when they brought in Cantillo?
Yep.
Third inning, right?
Third
inning.
Third inning. Yes.
The problem was if he could have just thrown it over the plate, I mean, poor Bo Naylor. I mean, 1 knee, no knees, 2 knees, 3 knees, 5 knees. I don't care what knee he was on. Nobody expected him. Nobody can block heaters in the dirt. Kratz, please explain this to people at home. That if a guy throws you heaters in the dirt, you can't block them. I don't care what you do. So, to me, listen, they didn't punt this, but he had been good for him. So all Vogt was hoping is he'd get out of the inning, keep it close, and give his offense a chance. And Avila did that.
Pedro Avila was great.
He was great,
2
right?
2/3, I think it was.
But he kept him in the game. They had chances. But, Jose Ramirez came up in that huge situation. I didn't love that he pinch hit for David Fry in the 8th off Luke Weaver. I thought he should have left with Manzardo. I thought he should have left David Fry in because David Fry has been great for him, and he had a big home run for him in the DS. Yep. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things you can question, but the Yankees don't chase, and the Guardians didn't throw strikes.
I just feel like they didn't manage the game the way that they did in the 5-game series. I get it, it's a 7-game series, but if you're trying to grab a game, it just looked like they were going, let's wait for the high leverage guys until later if this is close. Otherwise, we'll just punt it and we'll go forward tomorrow, Kratz, and we can really extend our relievers in tomorrow's game.
But here's the question. How many outs did you want to get from Cantillo?
None.
No, in that situation, you wanted to get 1 out. You're not bringing Cade Smith in to get 1 out. It didn't work. Why? Because you already have. Yeah, but they understand. I mean, as much as they managed the 5-game series that they just won like a 5-game series, you do have to manage this like a 7-game series. They were not winning. Were they winning in that situation? Then you go to Cade Smith. Then you go whoever you think in that spot in the lineup is going to give you 4 outs because your high leverage guys are going to give you 4 outs. They're going to Cantillo there because he's the bridge. All he is a bridge. I mean, he's like a stepping stone. He's not even a full bridge to Pedro Avila, who Pedro Avila and Cobb together are going to give you what a starting pitcher is going to give you. And you hope the game is close. You're not trying to play that game right there the same, or you're not playing that game the same way if you're winning. If you're winning 1-0, if you're winning 2-0, you're right. He doesn't come in there. But you have to play this like a 7-game series. And I thought he played it well. He threw some lawn darts in there. And no, you can't count on somebody to block a fastball. Sorry, all the high school coaches out there. You got to get down and block that. It's hard to block. It's hard to block an 82-mile-an-hour fastball, let alone anything over 90. Sorry, that's not happening. That's why you work on picking the ball.
Yep. Okay, so then on the Yankee side.
What you have to understand, and I think that, I don't know that Scott gets this, is you manage the game by the scoreboard, like Kratz is saying.
Because it was 1-0, you're trailing. If you're winning 1-0, do you bring in Cade Smith?
It's only the 3rd inning, so he can't burn all his 8 relievers in a game there's a good chance they're going to lose.
I was just asking for 1. Can I get Cade Smith or
and then he's done for the game?
Well, no. I mean, you could do 3 more outs.
But it's not going to – then what? let's say he goes out there and he does the same thing that.
Now I just got through 4. Let me see if I can get myself back in the game.
You can't do it like that. You can't play it like that.
Why not?
Because they're human beings. They're not robots. They get tired.
They just had a couple.
They just got all those guys just got an extra day off for tomorrow.
Correct. So that was my point.
But the problem is they fell behind. Their offense didn't score.
Yep.
Because Carlos Rodon shoved against them.
But it was so early. This is the 3rd inning.
Doesn't matter.
You don't trust that.
You got to play up the scoreboard. Doesn't matter, Scott. Okay. You think everyone's a robot? Like if my arm never hurt, I'm getting through every day.
No, I don't like bullpen games, but it's going to be a bullpen game most of the time with the
Every
Guardians.
game with the Guardians is a bullpen game.
Yeah.
Even Bybee, if he goes out and gives them 4 innings, it'll be a lot.
Right. So they'll have all of their guys loaded up and ready to go extended tomorrow. Meanwhile, for the Yankees, pretty much a complete performance from top to bottom, right? You got a little bit of everything in this one. And Rodon has to stand out the most here because you wanted to bounce back from him. And he's pretty good in interviews. He was very vocal and open about how he felt like the emotions got the best of him. He was all fired up after that first inning when he punched out the side in the last round. And this time, you just see him kind of going, okay, I have business to tend to. I'm not going to get too high. I'm not going to overthrow. And he was great with the fastball slider combo.
He was. And he didn't get emotional. He said he learned from Garrett Cole, and he threw great. He was nasty. He was nasty. And someone said the Guardians hit lefties. Well, they didn't hit this lefty.
I said it.
Oh, you did say it.
They did hit lefties this year.
Yeah, they did. Not tonight. They didn't hit that lefty.
Nope, not tonight. Hey, Kratz, if the Guardians are going to try and win a slugfest against the Yankees, they're going to get swept. They're going to have to win 3-2 games, contact. You're going bullpen game. It's what you might see in game 2. Otherwise, if you're trying to keep up with the Sotos of the world who homered, Giancarlo homered, Judge is still quiet for now. I mean, the offenses do not stack up against each other. It's not close there.
It's not apples to apples here, but I think Carlos Rodon was 0-2 with like an 11.7 ERA in the postseason coming in tonight's game. He is a veteran pitcher who has skills. There's a great tweet by Sarah Langs. 25 swings and misses is the most by a Yankee pitcher in a postseason game under the pitch tracking era since 2008. Like, this shows that when you have talent, when you have skills on your roster and they haven't done well, to me, that is not a bad thing for your team. It's a bad thing for the other team. And the Yankees won this game. Aaron Judge still didn't have a great game. He had a productive game, but these guys are going to break out. I was very impressed. I didn't think Rodon was going to do what he did, and he came out and he controlled his emotions so much better. But his last at bat against Jose Ramirez, he knew it was his last hitter. Then he started pumping some cheese. Snapped his bat on a foul ball, went 98 up and away. Like, when you're throwing your hardest pitch at the end of the night, that means you're just feeling that adrenaline, and you kind of saved it throughout that time. Hats off to him.
Mm-hmm. And the offense did enough.
He pitched great. Stanton, the known factor. I mean, the X factor, my ass, Kratz. X factor, my ass.
That's exactly what X factor is.
X factor is somebody you don't expect to do anything. Everybody expects Stanton to do something. Yes.
X factor is who the series is going to hinge on. That's what X factor is. It's not a surprise. Who's going to be your surprise? Oh, Giancarlo Stanton. No, he's not a surprise. He's the X factor.
Exactly. That's why he's not the X factor.
I'm going to the dictionary.
That's why he's not the X factor.
I got 2 for you. 1, a noteworthy special talent or quality. A variable in a given situation that could have the most significant impact on the outcome.
Boom, boom, boom.
But he's a known factor.
He's a known X factor.
He's not going to have the most impact in the whole series. He hit a solo home run in the 8th inning.
He could have the most impact.
No, he's not going to. The guy hitting behind Jose Ramirez, Lane Thomas sucked tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Tomorrow it'll be Josh Naylor. He sucked all postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those two. That if they're going to get, and you know why Kratz lost his bet tonight?
Why? Because
the guy Lane Thomas sucks. So they didn't walk Jose Ramirez. They went right after him.
And they were losing. As soon as they were losing, I was like, "Argh!" And then he got 3-2 in the one at bat. So I might double down and run it back again because I got tons of bonus bets. Thank you, BetMGM. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain.
Yeah, because you had
you won $2.
Soto
you won $2
into the bullpen. No, we'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow. But the Yankee bullpen is still very good. Looks like it's going to be
Weaver's been a godsend for them.
Weaver had a 5-out
Clay Holmes
save.
not closing is awesome.
Yep.
I mean, Tim Hill came in and struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
He gave up some not hard contact. That play at first base was super weird.
And that is Tim Hill. Tim Hill doesn't strike anyone out.
And he only throws heaters, which is funny. Because for a lefty like down here, you'd think he'd mix in some sliders. He throws all heaters.
He had I think it was, did you see his home run?
All ground balls, too. The ball is just on the ground. Huh.
Or sorry, not his home run rate. His strikeout rate this year, 44 regular season innings, 18 strikeouts.
Yeah, he didn't strike anybody out, but he just get ground balls.
And he was great this year for the Yanks. So, yeah, they helped to clean him up.
He was awesome for the White Sox this year, too.
Was he?
No, he sucked. They released him. And the
Yankees picked
him up
he was one of those. Yep. And they got Cousins from the White Sox, too.
Also got Cousins from the White Sox.
Yeah, good for them.
Couldn't make the team.
You're White Sox.
There's a lot of talent.
Couldn't make the team. Kopech's having a terrible time.
Oh, my gosh. He's been great. All right. So how do you think they're set up now for game 2, both sides? We talked a little bit about how the Guardians have a fully rested bullpen.
Sorry,
But
Claude. Sorry, Scott. Sorry, everyone. Gab. Doink!
The Yankees?
No, the Jets just doinked the field goal.
I do not care.
Yeah.
How are they set up, Scotty?
Yeah, how are we feeling about game 2 now that we saw them handle them in game 1? In game 2?
Everybody's set up.
I mean, everybody's ready to rock. I think the series could be short now.
You do?
Yeah. I think just because I don't know. I don't know. I think this could be a short series. The Yankees are rolling. They're swinging the bats. Judge hasn't done anything.
I don't feel like they're really even rolling yet. That's what
I'm saying, but they're still winning. They got Cole going tomorrow, who, I mean, if he pitches like he did last time out, this could be a short series.
Sure. Yeah.
Because after Bybee for the Guardians, Matthew Boyd threw 2 innings last time out.
Well, he's going to have to do more.
We're going the under. I'm telling Claude I'm locking in my bet for tomorrow. We're going the under tomorrow because exactly what bullpen Scott wants. You can't spell Scott without a bullpen. Is definitely. I mean, the Guardians are going right to them boys because they got an off day the next day. It might be a 2-1 game. I think the Guardians can pull it out. If it's a 2-1 game, they might find a little, way to get Garrett Cole to field his position, push some runners around. If your best hitter never gets on base or doesn't drive in any runs, it's a tough way to win. I know Judgy didn't get a hit today, but they had Soto, they had Giancarlo, Judgy had a walk, RBI. It was a well-rounded game, and I would agree with you, Scott. I don't think they're rolling yet. I think this team is, after game 1, hey, we saw what happened to the Dodgers. Game 1 looked like they were in control. So same thing could happen, but they are set up to where they want to be with Cole on the mound.
Here's the biggest problem. The Guardians almost have to play perfect to beat the Yankees. I'm serious. As much as I want to give the Guardians credit for everything they've done this year and how great they've been, it's just almost like they have to play a perfect game, meaning they walked too many guys tonight, right? And the Yankees walked their asses off against the Royals. There was, in 4 games, like 25 walks or some crazy number.
Yeah, and they started doing it again.
And they had a bunch of them tonight.
Yep.
Right? So in order for the Guardians to win games in this series, they're going to have to play absolutely perfect. And I just don't know that they're going to be able to do that 4 times in order to win this series.
They have 2 guys that are real power threats, right? Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor, where they can change a game with 1 swing. By the way, Ramirez late in the game had 2 on, down 3.
Yeah,
it's not like they didn't have a chance late.
But I also thought, thought they shouldn't have pinch hit for Fry. I thought they should have left him in instead of Manzardo. Or no, it wasn't Manzardo. Sorry, it was the other left.
Well, Manzardo came in.
The other lefty hit for him. Whatever. You know who I'm talking. He struck out with 1st and 3rd and 1 out.
I'll find it.
Brennan.
Will Brennan. I was going to say it starts with a W.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, Will. But yeah, I just thought, especially after Fry, what Fry did in Game 5 for him, or Game 4, for him. I thought you should have left him in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, just remember, there was a blowout in the NLCS Game 1, and then things were very different. So here's the deal. We'll look at MLB Perfect Inning 24, and then after that, we will talk about the NLCS results.
Becoming a champion takes perfection. Perfect defense.
Seager gets there.
My goodness.
Perfect base running.
Eager on the move.
That was tremendous.
And my favorite, a perfect swing.
This one is history. Franchise-changing player.
Are you ready to become a champion? Make it perfect with MLB Perfect Inning 24.
We will, Corey Seager. Thank you. MLB Perfect Inning 24 on your screen right now. You scan that QR code, you get the game for free. You can download it on your phone. Go get the mobile app. Experience the unique thrill of the real-time PvP baseball game in MLB Perfect Inning 24. That's what this show is powered by. And we're back. Let's get to the NLCS. This was game 2. Dodgers dominated the Mets in game 1, 9-0, and the Mets smacked back. I mean, that's a super quick turnaround, too. I mean, they had a game 5 seconds later. We were joking. Some people might as well have stayed in the parking lot if they were stuck at Dodger Stadium. Did you hear, by the way, how long Freddie Freeman needs treatment?
That seems like a lot. 5
because
hours?
They were saying, like, he almost considered really sleeping there. 5 hours of treatment.
Kratz, have you ever seen anybody get treatment for 5 hours?
What are they doing?
I don't know what you do for 5 hours. What the heck do you do for 5 hours?
I don't know about treatment for 5 hours unless you're sitting there like contrast and then there's like some type of like flushing going on. 5 hours. I originally heard it was 4 hours, and then partway through the game it was 4.5, and then they upped it to 5 hours. So I've seen some Ryan Braun would take 3 hours. Ryan Braun was healthy, and it took him 3 hours to get onto the field. It was
Remember when David Wright had spinal stenosis and he was struggling at the end of his career? He was hours. David Wright had hours.
Jim Thome was the longest I ever saw. It took him. I mean, but that included like he had a bad back, so that was like working out for an hour and doing like core and getting like that was a couple hours. But that also included not just doing like treatment where you're like in the training room with the freaking trainer just sitting there, rubbing on your ankle. There was a lot more to it.
Okay.
Yes, I think I just won my fantasy league or my fantasy game. So thank you.
Which we're all here for.
Oh, we are.
Wait, but do you think is this
nobody
one of those
cares, but
where,
I do, Scott.
You tell your grandkids 10 hours in the training room.
Oh, it used to take me 23 hours to get ready for the game. I'd have to start in the second inning to get ready for tomorrow.
I think fans would be surprised. At how much you actually have to do to get out there on the field. Like what all goes into it. You don't just slap your batting gloves on and go whack some baseballs. Maybe
speak for yourself, Panama Red.
Maybe at 23, and I know AJ's going to play like he did. We'll even get Scotty Podsednik on here. We know you did a lot of things to get ready. I'm not saying you were like, oh, my body hurts. I'm saying guys get ready to go in the game. That means they're lifting, they're hitting in the cage, then they hit on the field, then they stretch. There's a lot going on.
AJ does a lot to get ready for FT.
Mm-hmm.
Pilates, golf, maybe a cocktail.
Sometimes I show up right 1 minute before and I get random texts from people saying, are you showing up today?
Sometimes.
Epic. All right.
Nobody panics more than Jeremy Meyer, by the way.
Nobody shows up later to something than Jimmy Rollins or AJ Pierzysnki. Jimmy Rollins would show up.
Give me something on this game. Mark Vientos was pissed that they intentionally walked to get to him. No,
the biggest about of the entire game was the leadoff batter of the game. That was it.
Homer?
The home run by Lindor. That was it. Because the bullpen game fell apart as soon as Lindor hit the home run.
Well, that's 1-0.
It doesn't matter. It gave the Mets confidence, and it shook the Dodgers. And that was all they needed. They needed a little crack, and in the second inning, it just continued to flow. And Nat came in, didn't have it. This is the problem with bullpen games. Now, the Dodgers had a chance because the Mets almost screwed this game up when they took out Manaea and they brought in Phil Maton. Now, listen, Phil Maton's been great, but in this postseason, Phil Maton is almost unpitchable right now for the Mets. So let's try to keep him out of the game. I figured they probably thought it was 6-0 would be all right. Next thing you know, it was 6-3, and it was hold on for dear life, boys.
But what's your circle of trust for the Mets?
In the bullpen?
Yes.
Diaz?
Pierzysnki.
Ottavino?
You trust that Ottavino is going to sit back and have the time.
He's on
of his
vacation,
life.
bro.
He is. He's there. Great guy.
He's on the Kratz plane right now. He's just watching games.
Yeah.
It's Reed Garrett, and you can't go Reed Garrett for more than 3 outs because he just throws so many splitters. It's Edwin Diaz, it's David Peterson, and it's McGill.
Okay. Fine, that's enough. But it's not really like that.
Listen,
like
even Edwin Diaz is shaky, bro.
Yeah.
Every time it's like, all right, I got to walk the first 2 guys before I start getting strikes.
Well, he's your classic closer. He's got a little Kimbrel in him.
I mean, he comes in and it is like, what is happening?
But meanwhile, they won. Now they take the series home. It's even 1-1.
Stanek, you forgot Stanek.
Stanek
is way high on the list right now for the Mets.
He did do well. He was struggling earlier, but he did well.
He's turned around. And by the way, let's give a little love to our boy Honeywell. Came on the show in spring training. You remember what he said in spring training? Do you guys remember what he said?
I know he was very open.
He was like, I should be in the big leagues. I don't know why I'm not on a big league roster. If I don't make this team, I don't know what's wrong with the Pirates. Pirates let go of him, and there he is pitching in the playoffs for the Dodgers.
True.
Pitching good, too.
Well, apparently he was just not good enough for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I don't know. I'm just saying. That's what he said.
They didn't need any bullpen pieces.
And like Jose Iglesias told me in spring training, I should be on this team. I need to be on this team. I can help this team win. And look what he's done for him.
Yeah,
he's got songs. He's got hits.
They had shaky defense, though. He made a mistake. Pete Alonso made a mistake. But it's okay. They got the job done. You know why? Because the offense has been really good.
Yeah.
That has stood out for a while for them. And it came through again. You score 7 runs, you're going to win most playoff games.
Who's pitching game 3?
For
both teams.
We already know, don't we?
Yeah, I know. Who's pitching? Severino.
Okay.
And who's pitching for the Dodgers? Walker Buehler.
Yes.
Who you trust more?
Severino.
Okay. That's why these bullpen games are tough, Kratzy, because
Walker Buehler's a starter. Walker Buehler's a starter. All the Mets do is bang bullpen guys.
Landon Knack was a starter all year, and he gave up a 5 spot. And that's not – maybe they do that.
This is what happens when you do FT, not in the afternoon. But anyway, Mark Vientos is that rookie, just like last year. In a very different way.
Ching.
Evan Carter was that rookie. Just feels like you usually have that rookie surge where a guy doesn't feel like the moment's too big for him. And Mark Vientos has been just a force in the 2 spots.
Ching.
Yes, we know you hit your bet. And Landon.
And I called he was going to get hit off a lefty, which Scott said they don't have any lefties, but they did have a lefty, and they brought him in, and he got a hit. So I should win double, Claude.
If they decide to not throw Mark Vientos some strikes, he will get himself out.
Did he hit it off?
He hit the home or the grand slam off Knack.
Right.
But he got a hit off the lefty. He got
Does that ball go out? Does that ball go out in a night game in LA?
Who gives a shit? It went out in the day game.
Big difference. Day and night games.
Yeah, true, but I don't care. They're playing in the daytime.
Yeah. So good for them. They showed up. It was 33 innings in a row scoreless, 23 unanswered runs. They were delivering with runners in scoring position. Nobody could put together consistent offense against them for a while, and the Mets were like, nah, that was just a fluke.
It's shaping up right now. I think we all – I don't know, but Subway Series is becoming a real possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that before Game 2 started?
I did not.
See, that's the beauty of the playoffs, is if you're honest, you did not see this game coming. You sat there and you're like, whoa, what they just did with their bullpen in the last, 33, how many innings you said? Like, this might be Dodgers in 5. Now you're sitting here going, whoa, Mets are in position. That's the beauty of the playoffs. It really doesn't matter what you did. It's what you do in that game.
And the thing with the Dodgers is they're going to have to get by in a 7-game series with a severe lack of starting pitching trust. That's what it is. It worked for them in the best of 5. Mm-hmm. Does it work in a best of 7?
We're about to find out.
And their bullpen is good. Their bullpen's not Cleveland good. It's good. And they're also facing a team in the Mets that has burned bullpens for weeks now. I mean, they got an early lead this time around, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting series, obviously, as it heads back. But they have to do, in my mind, a lot more manager chess, right? Doc Roberts has a lot of tough decision-making to do versus Carlos Mendoza lining up his starters and then just deciding when to take that starter out. Not that it's an easy job, but it's a really tricky job if you're the Dodgers. Like, you have to finagle your pitching into the World Series. What do you mean?
He can't take him out too soon. He's like Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy didn't have a lot in that bullpen last year. What he had, he went to, but he had to lean on his starters. Fortunately, Jordan Montgomery did his thing. Fortunately, Nathan Eovaldi did his thing. Scherzer, for the most part, did his thing. Like, you have to – it's going to be different. You know, managing to keep a starter in is way different. Way different. So if I'm the Dodgers, I'm trying to get pitch count way up. I don't think the Phillies got the starting pitchers' pitch count way up. They still got to Severino by tying the game up that one game, but you got to make them work. And I think, you know, guys like Max Muncy, I don't think they're going to pitch to Shohei too much. Freddie always has good at-bats. That pitch count gets up. Now, all of a sudden, you have to bring in Maton. You might have to push Stanek for 4 outs. You might have to push Reed Garrett for 4 outs. It's not – these next 3 games are tough because there's no off days.
Yeah, very different offense.
Yeah, but that also wears out the Dodgers because they rely on their bullpen more than pretty much any team other than – I mean, the Tigers are obviously out, but –
well, the Guardians.
The Guardians too, but here's my thing.
Are more of your modern bullpenning their way into smoke and mirrors World Series. Yankees and Mets are more of your traditional – baseball clubs.
And also, let's not forget what Manaea did to Shohei today. Sale, I think we're frozen.
I still hear you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're back. We're kind of
back. But no more of the old drop-down Chris Sale, Sean Manaea trick. He didn't want no part of that.
No. Mike Petriello, who's been on our show a few times, had a good tweet. He was like, how many left-handed starters in spring training next year are going to be like,
throwing like Chris Sale.
I'm going to drop down and try to sail this shit.
Oh, every lefty's going to be like, let me see how far I get out here.
Yeah. You got to try it. I mean, Sean Manaea was never like this. He's had his ups and downs, but even the ups, they never touched what he just did.
No.
He's on another level.
And he couldn't pitch against the Dodgers either. Let's not forget, he couldn't pitch against the Dodgers.
Everything's different now. Everything has changed. So, anyway, good little wrap up on both series. We'll do this tomorrow, 1 to 3 Eastern. We'll have some guests.
Yankees played good. Yankees played well.
Yankees played well, yes. And the Mets played
They look like the experienced. The Yankees look like the experienced team.
Yeah.
Right? They look like the team that's been there, done this.
They looked like the heavy favorite.
Yes.
Yeah, they played like the favorite. And they didn't even, blow them away.
Love them or hate them, they look like the team.
Yeah, they look good.
Rizzo had 2 good at-bats, too. I think that's a key. That's a huge key when we talk about the bottom of the order.
Yep.
Walking a base hit.
Yep, exactly.
We'll see tomorrow. Because we thought the Mets were in trouble.
Things can change.
We'll see tomorrow.
Things can change.
Ivy goes out and deals. Cole gets hit, which hardly ever happens, but you never know.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts and how biased we are of whatever team you're a fan of in the chat or in the comments below on this video. Like it, subscribe to FT on YouTube, and we will see you live 1 o'clock Eastern time until 3 every single week.
Jets.
We'll have post-game shows on the FT network. Pinstripe territory, Dodgers territory. We'll do another one of these later this week. See you on Tuesday, FT fam.